Welcome to the Week in Review, the show that brings you up to date on the week that was. Here are the top stories. Economic growth slows down in the second quarter. GMR faces expulsion from Maldives over airport deal. And a survey says Indian companies face the largest number of frauds worldwide. We begin with India's economy. Government figures released on Friday show India's economy continues to slow down. GDP growth in the second quarter was just 5.3% compared to 6.7% in the same period last year. The latest number is also lower than the first quarter's 5.5% growth. And here's how those GDP numbers break up by sector. Manufacturing grew just 0.8% during the July to September period, and mining expanded 1.9% compared to 5.4% in the last year's second quarter. Services showed a respectable 5.5% growth, though that's much lower than the 9.5% growth in the previous year's second quarter. Friday's disappointing numbers came despite a relatively low base in the second quarter of the last fiscal. A delayed monsoon contributed to the slowdown in the second quarter, but recent RBI data also shows non-food credit growth is losing pace. Meanwhile, a leading credit rating agency has indicated it's keeping its rating for India in place for now. On Tuesday, Moody's said the outlook for its Baa3 rating was stable. Moody's says a combination of high savings and investments has contributed to the outlook, but it has warned that India's poor infrastructure and high debt are challenges to the rating. Moving to corporate news, Lanco Infratech is delaying salary payments amid a cash crunch. Mint has learned that the company has had to defer paying employees after creditors turned down its requests for new loans. Put together, Lanco's group companies have some 6,800 employees, with a total salary bill of 75 crores a month. Salaries to about 3,000 employees have been delayed for almost a month. Lanco has about 4,000 megawatts of installed capacity and another 5,000 megawatts of capacity under construction. Earlier in the week, it signed an agreement with China Development Bank for a $2 billion loan to build 2,600 megawatts of capacity in UP. Staying with infrastructure, the GMR Group is facing expulsion from the Maldives. On Wednesday, the Maldives government recommended the termination of GMR's $500 million contract for developing the Malé airport. It has issued a notice to the GMR Group. GMR filed a lawsuit against Maldives government on Thursday, and the Maldives Airport Company in turn has lodged a complaint with the local police. Back in 2010, GMR and its partners signed a $511 million deal to revamp and run the Malé airport. Moving on, UK-based GlaxoSmithKline has announced it will buy back around $1 billion worth of stake from its consumer business in India. GSK says it will spend 5,220 crores to purchase an extra 31.8% stake in GlaxoSmithKline Consumer Healthcare. It will pay 3,900 rupees for each share. The purchase will give it a total stake of 75%, which is the maximum a promoter can hold in the public company. GSK says the planned buy is part of a strategy to invest in fast-growing markets. And here are some stories in brief. A study from research firm Nielsen says low-income consumers are going to drive growth in India's FMCG sector. The report says that by 2015, India's poorest households will buy $3 billion worth of consumer goods. It adds that 1 out of every 4 customers at supermarkets or hypermarkets is a first-timer. A new worldwide survey has concluded that companies in India have faced the maximum number of fraud cases this year. A report from Kroll Advisory Solutions says 68% of companies surveyed had been affected by fraud in 2012. China and Indonesia were tied in second place with 65%. Interestingly, the survey also showed Indian companies were more worried about theft than of bribes or corruption. And finally, the economic slowdown seems to be taking its toll on PC sales. Research firm Gartner says sales of desktop computers and laptops fell 5.9% in the September quarter to 2.9 million. Gartner says Lenovo is currently the biggest PC seller in India, with a market share of 17%. And that's all we have for you. Thanks for watching.